So today, probably like a lot of you have a Polaris quad that has the cigarette or power adapter. I'm old school, I say cigarette lighter plug, but power plug. And then on some vehicles, Polaris put the float charger, hand warmer, coat warmer circuit right there. And as we come over this way, you've got the ignition key, then you got a blank spot. Well, I guess on some Polarises, you can get a USB port. On mine particularly, my model don't come with it. So we are going to install one right there. The reason for USB on mine is when I'm trail riding, I like to use Onyx off-road. This is not an endorsement for them. It's just some of you may use Google Maps or some other trail software that you need to keep in your phone, and you keep your screen alive so you can see where you're going. You want to be plugged into the bike. Now, just like this power plug, we want that to be switched off when you turn the key off, so you don't run the battery dead. This will stay alive all the time if you keep power to it, because there's a little voltmeter right here in the middle of it. I will put the link to this down in the description if that's the type you want. This one's rated for 30 amp. So you've got 3.0 USBs top and bottom, and then you've got USB-Cs or PDs along the side, and then the little voltmeters in the back. So let me get the tools that we need ready, and I will show you what's going on next. I'd like to thank my videographer today for keeping everything in frame, unlike when I try to do it and I'm showing you something and it's not even in the video. So this will be hopefully a much better video. We need a T25 Torx bit. Put it on the driver, makes it easier. You have 5 screws. You have 2 in the top, 1 in the middle, and you've got 2 on each side. So a total of 5 screws have to come off to get that front valance for the headlight off. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and take those screws out. And they're all pretty easy sitting on the bike. In fact, you can do probably about 80% of this install sitting on the bike. And I just stashed the screws down there by the gas cap so they won't get lost. We're going to reach around on this side and do the same. We're going to get that one loose. Reach around on the other side, which is just exactly opposite of what I just showed you. And we're going to take that screw out, and that valance just falls off, which is awesome. So the next thing is we've got to get back under here. Now the safe thing to do on yours is just reach around under there with your hand and make sure that there's nothing behind it that you're going to drill into, because at this point we're going to take a step bit. You probably can get these at Harbor Freight. This is not a Harbor Freight one, but you're going to need to go probably at least looks like an inch. So we're going to do this in steps. So I'm going to center up on here just like so, and we're just going to start stepping through it. Now, as you can tell, once you get going, it will go fast. So don't overdo it. Just little bits at a time. And each time you feel it step, test it till you get to the right size, because you go too far, well, I don't need to explain to you that you'll be in big trouble. So we are to the point that fits in there, but we're not getting past the threads. So I'm going to trim just a little bit and see if we can get that going all the way in there, which we can. So now we're done with our step bit. We are just simply going to get this all ready. Now's a good time to attach our wires. So positive to positive, negative to negative. On this version, the positive is the silver one. Yours may differ, so make sure you look at it. And our negative. So red positive, black negative. Put your insulators on. We're going to pull our nut off, and we're going to fish everything through where we can get to it. So we bring everything around, put our nut back on. Slide that in there. And then what you can't see is the magic of trying to get the nut on from behind. So this will take some patience. Once we get there, we will, once I get this bolted on, we'll come back and I'll show you the hookup. But that's where we're at right now. So we've got it mounted, we just got to get the nut on there. We'll be right back. So I drilled right through the center. We put our USB port in there, and I realized that the nut wouldn't go on there. So I did a little investigating. You need to take these two screws out. There's one here, there's one on the opposite side. And then you can pull that forward. This bracket right here gets in the way of you putting that nut on. Now it doesn't interfere once it's on, but once you get the dash pull forward, then you can go ahead and tighten this thing up. So once you've tightened it as far as you can, you just want to stick a flat blade screwdriver in there and snug it up a little bit. So it's going to take a little work. I use kind of the turn the nut and twist the USB port trick, which means you're spinning the nut with the USB port and then turning it. And I like that. That's nice and tight. So as I noticed, one of our wires came off, so we'll want to get that back on there. So we got that back on there, and then we're just going to very carefully, while watching the wires for any chafing, we're going to put that back in like so. Now there is a little bit of an interference here, so, and I'm doing this live real time, so you probably, on some of these, for this accessory anyway, and I'm going to have to tighten up some things, but to get your clearance, you're going to want to bend them over. And then by doing that, your brackets will line back up to put your dash back on. And these terminals, you can reach up there and see that they're not contacting anything. So I'm going to tighten them spade terminals up a little bit, and we'll get right back to the reassembly. Okay, so that'll show you how we hooked it up. The red wire to the orange wire, the black wire to the black wire. So we now are hooked into their accessory port. So now I'm going to take a piece of Super 88. Again, as I say in most of my videos, you cut your finger off with one of these. It's on you, not on me. So all disclaimers apply there. So we're just going to take our Super 88 and we're we're going to wrap that around there as a little protection. And then we're going to tuck it nicely away. So there's our voltmeter. I'm going to turn the power on. Looky there, there's our voltmeter. So we have the USB port and the added fun of a voltmeter as we're cruising down the road. I'm sure if the sunlight's right, we'll be able to see it through that little window, but it really doesn't matter. A bike does that for us anyway. So that's it. Assembly is the reverse of disassembly. So reassembly is the opposite of disassembly. You're going to need to put this lower screw in here first. The reason being is it also holds the dash on. It doesn't hold the valance on. So we all learn something new every day. You've got your two upper screws that I've already just got started. So we tighten them up. And then we're going to reach around and we're going to put our screw on the right side. Tighten that one down, and the other side's exactly the same. We'll test it one more time. So now you can see we got our voltage in the little window. Our USB ports are energized with the key on, dead with the key off. That's what you want. So, doesn't look bad. Pretty clean install. If you like this video and you want to see more, smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel. We've got many more install videos out there. And we hope you join us for more. And your support shows us that we need to produce more. So at this point, thanks for watching.